Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, how are you? Everybody, I hope you're fit and well. Como John here with an upload. I've got something to talk about. I only upload when I've got something to talk about. So it's, what day is it today, guys? It's Wednesday. Yes, it is. The 24th of January. If I don't talk to you, see you between now and Australia Day. Happy Australia Day, everyone. What a circus this country's become. What a fucking circus. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Listen, tonight's discussion that I want to engage in a conversation with you is about the pissant Dave O'Neigs. I told yous, everyone. I told yous, ladies and gentlemen, it was coming. I told you the pile-on against Ric Bosi and the Australian One people was coming. Okay, and it's arrived. It's arrived, mate. They're shitting bricks, mate. Onyx has put a post up that is a direct mirror of Craig Kelly, where Kelly came out and called Bosi crazy, lock him up, he's a lunatic, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Onyx has put that up. He wants the whole world to see that he's right on board with Craig Kelly. Oh, yeah, and a few others. And anyway, he's put another one up today. Another one up today. Burning Rick again, over all the reporting and information and analysis that Rick has done over in recent years. Okay? All right. And let me just say to you two things. Either Onyx genuinely doesn't get it, right? Either he doesn't get it, and I'm serious about that. I mean, he's not too bright, old one egg, right? He's not too smart. So he may not actually understand the fucking war that we are in. Okay, now, if that's the case, he should just shut his big mouth, mate, because every time he opens it, he looks more and more stupid. I mean, I can't believe this clown. But the other thing is, mate, is that he knows exactly what's going down in this war, okay? And now he's playing an active role to run interference, right? Okay. Now, it's either one or the other. There's no middle ground. I monitor everyone, mate. I monitor everyone. All communists do that. That's what we do. I can't help it, right? So Onyx, mate, is exposing nothing. Nothing. This clown exposes nothing. None of the crimes. Nothing what's going on. The only thing he does every now and then is talks about chemtrails and weather geoengineering. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I mean, everyone out there can see that. It's fucking right in your face. But apart from that, mate, he doesn't talk and expose anything. Anything, right? He talks about fucking all of his business interests and water coolers and fucking surfing and all this. So it's like a social channel. It's like, seriously, it's like a social channel, mate. It's got not even a hint, not even a hint of a freedom fighter, truther sort of flavour. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, this guy's a dud, mate. He's a dud. Seriously, man. Seriously. He's not too bright. And if he isn't, if he is a bit smarter than what I think, then he's batting for the other team, ladies and gentlemen. He's batting for the other team. You've got to remember, mate, O'Neill's come out of that courtroom, mate. He was in a lot of trouble, mate. They wanted to jail me for 2 years over bullshit, mate. 2 years. I mean, these courts were set up and the prosecutors and the cops to lock us away. You understand? Onyx goes in there, mate, and just gets a kiss on the cheek and he didn't even get a slap on the wrist. There's something's gone on. Something has gone on with the cops and the courts, okay, to let little Davy off. As soon as he walked out of that courtroom, mate, he called us cookers. Cookers. And that's not an accident, folks. It's not an accident. You need to understand that all of the Victorian Marxists, all of the cops, all the law enforcement, mate, they needed to paint us as crazies, right, as crazies. And, they have a scientific formula. This has all been worked out. They have to name you and shame you and embarrass you, right? That's what they do. That's why they invent these names. So they come up with the names Cooker. We fucked them over because we ended up adopting it and everyone started calling themselves Cookers. I bet you they got pissed off at that. We wore it as a badge of honour. We wore it as a badge of honour. You know, just like the deplorables, the poor flyover people in the Midwest in America, the forgotten Americans, you know, they were called deplorables by, that other fucking evil witch pissant Hillary. Hi, Hillary. I hope you're getting flogged and burnt in hell, you bitch. So Onyx comes out and straight away calls us cookers. I knew there was a deal done, mate. I knew it. Now he's come out again now, right? He's coming out now, backing Kelly up. Kelly's calling Ricardo Bosi crazy, mad. And you've got to remember, if he's calling Ricardo that, right, it's all of us as well. Okay. Now, whether or not you're an A1 person, whether or not you are an A1 person or not, whether or not you even like Rick or not, what you need to entertain is this, okay? Do you or do you not believe, right, that we have some very, very evil people that occupy all sorts of positions of political, industrial, and technological power that's got huge, influences over our lives and that these people are right into children, mate. Do you believe that or not? Do you believe that child trafficking is not a huge, huge issue, worse today than it was probably 100 years ago or 200 years ago? It's a huge business, right? Do you believe that? You know, do you believe, mate, that Freemasons, right, are in, controlling things with secret clubs, secret handshakes, secret oaths, and all the rest? If you don't believe any of that, then go to Oneg's channel and go surfing. Go surfing, right? You know, I mean, his job, the same as Tricky, the same as bloody Hoodie and others, right? Their job after Canberra, because Canberra frightened the shit out of them, right? 1 million+ people there. It frightened the shit out of them. They had to pull people out of the war. They had to pull them out, get them out of the war so that they couldn't be organised into an actual fair income protest movement to take the government on. Now, Onyx has pulled people out of the movement, right? That was his job. Tricky and others to hose it down, disable it, make sure it never gained any momentum. So ultimately, it goes nowhere. Now, when you look around the freedom movement now, that's exactly what's happened. I mean, no one goes to the freedom movements in here in Brisbane anymore. No one. They get fuck all. They went from, I don't know, 50, 60, 70,000 people, mate, down to 1,500. So Tricky's done his job. He's pulled them out. He's disabled it. He's just worn people down with crap, And so he's done his job, Onyx is the same, except Onyx is trying to make money. He's trying to build the business and make money out of the people that he's pulled out of the movement, right? That's it. That's what he's doing. He's an entrepreneur. He's on a promise, folks. He's on a promise. He's batting for the other team. You watch the others come in, mate. One by one by one, they're going to expose themselves by going after Bosi. I am telling you now. Everyone out there, you listen to me, you folks, mate. If you want to know how dirty deeds are done dirt cheap, you come and talk to an old commo, mate, because I'll tell you all the games. I'll tell you I'm skilled. I'm trained at all of these games. In fact, I'll tell you, mate, the reason why you're in such a fucking mess now is you don't listen. You don't listen to old communists, right? You just don't. Okay? The people out there, you don't have to, but, Yuri Brezhnev, Comrade Yuri back in the 1980s told the whole world what was going to be done to them, told them how they were going to do it, went through everything. No one listened. 20 odd years ago, 30 years ago, Comrade Jeff McDonald, the former Australian communist, he came out and wrote the book Red Over Black and tried to tell you how they were going to take your bloody sovereignty off you using all of the bloody land rights and all the rest of it, mate. And then about 10 years ago, Como John, an obscure nobody, mate, come out of nowhere, and he started to tell you, hey, we're at war, and they're going to try and kill you. You want to be careful. You want to start getting your act together and, protect yourselves, No one listened to me. No one. So Old communist, mate. No one wants to hear what we got to say, and I'm cool with that. I mean, I get it. I get it. But if you want to know how you're going to get taken down, mate, and what were the game plans were, then we laid it out for you. We told you. We told you. You know. So no one wants to listen to an old com, and that's why I don't join, any sort of group. I don't join Australia One. I don't join, any of them, anyone out there. It's not because I don't like them or whatever. It's because, I'm too hot, mate. I'm radioactive. I'm radioactive, mate. I scare people. I scare people, including the fucking deep state, I might add. But what you're now looking at, folks, is you're looking at the Clive Palmer Collective. That's what you're now looking at. You're looking at the Clive Palmer Collective. You got this little pissant bloody Mike McCabe running around organising behind the scenes, and he's pulling in, one by one, they're pulling in their assets and building their little team. Okay, and now you are seeing their team members, right, all starting to bob their heads up, all acting in a coordinated way, but pretending to be acting independently, going after Ric Bosi and Australia One. Now, Rick, on the other hand, mate, he doesn't care. He's just, day by day by day. I mean, my relationship with Rick, you've got to understand. I mean, mate, we're professionals. Rick is a professional, mate. I'm a professional. We work together professionally. When there's, common ground and we're fighting the same enemy and stuff like that. It's not mates and goody two-shoes and all this shit. It doesn't work like that, right? So I monitor Rick's work and I monitor where he's going. And I'm telling you now, mate, he's on the money. Onigs and Clive Palmer, and all of that team, which includes the pissant bloody Kelly, right? Okay. They know that things are getting close now. They know that President Trump is close to coming back, and they know there's going to be wholesale sweeping reforms, mate. Huge change is coming. And see, their motivations is they don't want to facilitate that. They don't want to help that. They don't want a clean out. They want a slice of the action. That's what they want. They want to profiteer out of these changes. They want to come out on top. You get me? Onyx obviously is. I mean, he's out belting out all sorts of business and fucking, water coolers and all sorts of things, mate. Oh, what a fucking joke this bloke is, mate. Where the fucking hell did he come from? Look, folks, you don't have to like me. You don't have to like me, but you know who I am, mate. You know I can't change. I mean, I'm born and bred here, mate. Third generation, mate. My father, bloody, big union man, lefty, communist, me. I can't hide anything about my life. That's why, I'm fully transparent. I don't want anything out of anyone. I'm not trying to get any jobs or anything. I don't want anything off anyone, mate. I just want you at home to be safe, to be free, and our country to be the same. That's all. That's all. And we can't get there, folks. We can't get there unless we have a total clean out. Because, just about every institution in this country has got a deep infection. Very, very bad infection. In fact, our nation at the moment has got gangrene. It's got gangrene. And if we don't cut this poison out of our society, right, if we don't cut it out, mate, then the whole country eventually is going to get very chronically ill, and we will end up losing the lot. We will all go down, mate. Okay? This poison that we have, mate, is pedophilia, institutional pedophilia, child trafficking, organ harvesting, and satanic fucking practices, mate. And it's rife. It's rife. Okay. And unless good people really take a stand against it, then it's going to grow. It's going to grow until eventually your kids or your grandkids, right, are going to get caught up in it. And you can see it now, mate. Have a look. Have a look at our courts right now. Have a look at what they are doing, separating children, children, right, from parents and placing them in great danger, right? And the police, have a look at what they're doing right now, okay? And if you keep looking the other way, eventually it's going to be your child or your grandchild, right? Okay, we can't keep looking away with this, mate. The biggest problem we have now, I mean, and I'm being very I know I take the piss out of people and I give them a serve, and and fuck them, they're just lightweight nobody, so I don't care about that. But the biggest problem we have, all of us genuine truthers, genuine freedom fighters out there who want to clean this sewer up, is that normal people out there, the normies, if we can lovingly call them that, mate, they cannot grasp the level of evil, the level of criminality, the level of danger that they're in. They just can't. They can't wrap their mind around it. They can't believe that these demonic forces, all but, are out there doing this stuff. They can't comprehend that 1 million children a year can be abducted and trafficked and then sold into sex slavery. And when their poor little bodies wear out, they then on-sell them again, cut them open while they're alive. While they're alive, organs are no good. After you're dead, they cut them open, start pulling their organs out and putting them on the open market. You know what I mean? Normal people, normies out there cannot believe that sort of level of evil exists in our country, in our suburbs, and in the world. They can't believe that. And I do understand it, because it took a while for me to choke that down, ladies and gentlemen. It took a while for me to choke that down, and then to come to a realization that I, in fact, was batting for the opposition team, and I had to fucking reevaluate my whole life and get my affairs in order, which is what I've done. Okay. Now, we are never going to get normal people out there to understand this evil, right, and how bad things really are, right, while ever we got, people running interference, running cover, trying to deliberately divert our attention so that this sort of information doesn't come to the surface, all right? All of our leadership in corporations, in churches, in unions, in governments, in parliaments, all of them are compromised. All of them are compromised. Okay? You understand me? And they've got film on these people. They've been involved in unspeakable acts of crimes against children, right? Okay. And, man, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that does not come out. Now, people like Clive Palmer and others out there, mate, I don't know exactly what their motives are. I mean, I'm hoping that Clive, despite being a Freemason and everything else, is still a human. He's gay and not a lizard. If you know what I mean. And if he isn't a lizard, mate, if he's still a fucking human, you big fat cunt, Clive, okay? Listen, brother. You've either got to come to terms with the fact, mate, that we are going to be moving into a world of no more fucking secrets, brother. No more secrets, mate. All this shit that's been going on, that is going on. You're aware of it because you're part of that network. Now, I'm hoping that you yourself have not been personally involved in any of these crimes. I'm hoping Craig Kelly hasn't been involved in any of these crimes, and other people. I mean this. I genuinely mean that. But the fact is, they're now involved in another crime, which is covering it up. You get me? Covering it up, and that's what you got. Look, everyone out there, Bosi, mate, whether you fucking like him or not, mate, he is a genuine, real person with convictions and a deep love of his country and a deep love of children, okay? Now, you mightn't like him because, He doesn't speak your language, or he's got some other sort of physical look about him or something. I mean, I don't know. I mean, fuck, I'll laugh, mate. I'll laugh. This is how crazy people are. I heard Guru on a talk back ages ago. People were fucking having a go at him because of his teeth. He said, "Where did you get the money to fucking fix your teeth up?" and all this stuff. I mean, this is how pathetic people are. I mean, they will hate you for nothing, just for the sake of it. They won't listen to any of your content, they won't, try to reason with your arguments or anything like that, but they'll hate your guts because of some bullshit. That's why I've got no friends. I've got 3 friends, mate, 3 of them. After 64 years of age, I've ended up in my life with 3 people, and 2 of them are old comms. But you don't have to like Bosi. I'm serious, man. I'm serious. He's not doing this for the lifestyle. He's not doing this for the money. He's not doing this for all of those selfish reasons, mate. He's doing it, mate, for out of conviction. And I'm convinced of that. I'm convinced of that. I've known Rick now for about, I don't know, 6 going on 7 years, right? Collaborating, just, working together, as indeed other people. I try to work with every and anyone, folks, as long as they're fighting the same war I'm fighting. That's all. That's all I've ever asked, right? Can you fight? And whose side are you fighting for? And I've put aside differences and all that sort of stuff with other people, because I'm not a easy man to get along with. I'm a real rough sort of, dude. But you don't have to like Rick to understand where he's coming from. It's out of conviction. And if you've got a guy, mate, that's put his whole life and reputation on the line to pursue and prosecute these arguments and this, using evidence and stuff like that, then hey, even if you're not quite sure, you got to cut him a bit of slack, mate, and say, hey, he may be right, but not Craig Kelly, not Dave Oneggs, not Clive Palmer, not Hoodie, not Tricky, none of them, mate. You watch the pylon, you watch the connections, and then look behind and see who's coordinating it all. It'll be little Mr. Mike McCabe, and it will be fucking that big, fat, useless pig, Clive Palmer. That's who's going to be behind this, mate. But look, folks, it ain't going to cut it this time, mate. It ain't going to cut it. We're now getting to the pinch point now. We're now getting to the pinch point, right? It's been a tough war, very, very hard to unpick the events and what's been going on. No one in the world has got this, 100% right all the time, because it's been a very complex battle plan that we've, that military people have been engaged in. So, folks, this year, 2024, and it's already started, lots of big things unfolding, and Craig Kelly and others know. They know it's all coming to a climax this year. They know it. And they want a slice of the action. They want to be seen to be the good guys. They want to steal valor. That's the only way you can describe it. Stolen valor. No different from a fraudster putting on an Australian military uniform with fake medals going on an Anzac Day march. Okay, exactly the same thing. Stolen valor. Craig Kelly and others are self-promoting. They're out there saying that they've been on the side of the Australian people and talking about, current politicians and for. Listen, Craig, I want to just, and to all the rest of you pollies in there, they set us up in the parliament over decades. Over decades, mate, they've been planning and prosecuting this big operation against the Australian people. You've not said one fucking word. Nothing. Not like the South Australian Polly, that woman who came out and laid it out and said, be careful, this has got huge implications. I've just forgotten her name, but I respect her big time because she tried to front run it and tried to warn everyone big time. You bastards did nothing. And now you want to profit out of it. You want to profit out of these events by painting yourselves, right, and depicting yourselves, right, as being freedom fighters, mate. You ain't. You're not. You're pissants, mate. You bastards said nothing. Zero. Zero to forewarn anyone. So don't come and start, dressing up with your mantra and saying that you're the good, because you're not. You're not. I'm not saying that you are as criminal or, you've done big criminal things. I'm not saying that, mate. You may have, and if you have, mate, you're fucking gone. You're gone. You will fucking face huge penalties, mate. You're going to get caught. If you've been involved, you are fucking rat shit in this war. But if you haven't, right, done criminal fucking acts, right, and that's hard to imagine because you never would have got to where you were without doing criminal acts, okay? But if you haven't, mate, then, your motivations now, mate, are not to save the country. It's not to, anything noble, right? Not like what Bosi's doing. Bosi is risking it all. There's nothing in this for him, mate. He's risked everything, right? And there's no payola at the other end. You people now have taken no risk, but you now want a slice of the action. You want a slice of the action, mate. Have a look in the USA, folks out there. Have a look look at all the false, fake freedom fighter, people over there that all clung on to President Donald Trump, okay, our commander-in-chief, right? Have a look at all of them that used his popularity, right, and rode in on the back of his popularity, only then to stab him in the back, right? Now, I'm telling you, folks, it's exactly the same here in Australia, okay? You got a whole bunch of people here are trying to ride in the back of this huge change, right, that's coming, right? And they are going to try and profit in some way out of it, either financially or through notoriety or politically or corporately or whatever the case may be. But their motivations are not noble. They're not noble. And so because they are in it for a slice of the action, that's what they really want, right? Okay. They've got to take Bosi down, mate. Okay. They've got to take him down. Now, I'm telling you out there, everyone, right? We need Bosi in this war. I don't care if you're a member of A1 or ever going to join or even if you like him. We need someone of his experience, his caliber and his conviction, right, and his background in this war, right? And if we don't have that, right, we are going to be blindsided, because very soon you're going to see military, right, that are already here, they're already in place, but they're then going to step out of the shadows and take on a very visible role on the streets, and that's coming. Laugh all you like, Davo. Laugh all you like, pissant. Okay, that's what's coming, buddy. Okay, and either you know that or you're trying to hide that. You're trying to duck and dive, mate, or you just don't know. I think it could be the latter. I think you truly might be as stupid as you fucking look, boy. I truly mean it. I'm hoping you're not a bad guy, Dave. I'm hoping that you're just a fucking idiot. Just a dumb fucking idiot, mate, who's out trying to grift and make money. I hope that's the level of your shortcomings, okay? I hope it doesn't go any deeper than that. If it does, you've got trouble. But look, folks, this is interesting. Watch for the pile on. Graham Hood's going to come into it, mate. You watch him. Graham Hood's going to come into it. Tricky's going to come into it. They're all going to come in after Bosi, and they will expose themselves, right? Because they know the end is near. Good night, folks. Good night. Hang in there. Happy Australia Day. If you're out there, Rick, mate, I don't know how you fucking put up with these pussheads, mate. Sorry, Rick. Thanks, folks. Good night.